Hey, what's up? Welcome back to 5Cent Wax. I'm so happy you're tuning in with me tonight. It's hard to believe that we're just over a week from Christmas and 2025 has flown right by. But I've found myself as we get more near the holidays, reflecting more and more on my year, not just as a collector returning to the hobby, but just in general. And I've got to say it's been a wonderful year. But a big part of that is because of you guys out there that I've got to know that are part of the hobby, that have been so nice to me and extended your friendship to me since March when I jumped back into the hobby, but also August when I jumped into the YouTube world and created content for the first time just 4 short months ago. So really hard to believe that in that short a span of time, I've made friendships across the continental U.S. from Missouri and Kansas, here in Tennessee, all the way out to California, and around the globe and down under to Australia. It's just been such a thrilling thing, because the reason I even jumped into YouTube was to expand my horizons and hopefully get to know some of the guys that I really love watching content from and just learn. Have learned from since getting back into the hobby, and just really wanting to be a part of the community. And I feel like I've been so blessed to be able to do that through YouTube and through the hobby in general. So given that I'm in kind of the mode of reflection, I've been watching a lot of, top 100, top 50, top 25 videos from other content creators, and really kind of felt inspired to reflect back on my year in the same way. So in today's episode, we're going to look at my top 10 favorite cards that I've either reconnected with this year or picked up and added to the collection. So we're going to talk about cards that I remembered as a kid, or that I kind of reconnected with as I went through my childhood collection, my brother's collection, that you've heard me talk so much about before. And then also cards that I've added to the PC as I've kind of made the jump into the vintage world. So hope you enjoy that. But before we go on, I want to say a special thank you to 2 other channels that gave me a shout out this week. So Doug from Don't Talk to Robots and Danny from 12 Again Sports and Outdoors. Thank you so much for the shout out you gave me. I think it was on Friday of last week. Just was caught completely off guard by that. Very surprised, very thankful for all you new subscribers, new people that have come to check out my channel as a result of the shout out from Don't Talk to Robots. Thank you. I hope you like what you've seen. Hope you pull up a chair and stay a while, because I'm certainly glad to have you here, and I look forward to getting to knowing and interacting with as many of you as I can going forward. So again, Danny and Doug, thank you so much. You'll find the links to their channel in the description. If you've not checked them out, be sure to check both of them out. Great channels in their own right, and really doing a lot for the hobby community. So much appreciated, guys. With that, let's turn it around and get a look at my top 10 favorite cards from 2025. And again, this is not based on value. This is based on my connection to the cards, or just cards that I have enjoyed connecting with the most this calendar year. All right, so here we go with number 10. This is a card that really helped me reconnect as a kid, and matter of fact, the first 2 or 3 that I'm going to show you are. But coming in at number 10 is 1987 Topps Dale Murphy with the beautiful Sharpie signature in blue ink. I'm a Braves fan. I'm disappointed Dale didn't get in along with Donnie Ballgame in the Heirs Committee election to the Hall of Fame, but that's okay. This is a card that, if you've heard me talk about my brother's TTMs before, you know that I opened like 20 or 30 envelopes, and I've got several that I opened. But I open those, and then I open the remainder that I have at the end of my shows and see what's in those. But the small population that I went through, this card came out of those 20 to 30 envelopes. Beautiful signature. I really love it. This one really takes me back. I love that 87 Topps set. That's probably what led me to love the 62 Topps set, because of the wood paneling. But this just screams 80s. This is right in the heartbeat of when I was really getting, full bore into the hobby as a kid. So really enjoy this one. And this is one that I need to have sent off and authenticated and slabbed at some point. Number 9, believe it or not baseball, is this Topps Joe Montana. It's got a signature. So my brother and I actually came across this card at a card show in Knoxville as kids. I do feel good about the autograph, but I need to get it authenticated and make sure it's real. But the reason I threw this on there is because even though I wasn't a big 49ers fan as a kid, I was a huge Joe Montana fan. And, just the stumbling across this card, which was in great condition after all these years of sitting in a box in the closet with my brother's stuff. It was great to pull this out, think about those times we had at shows running around that our parents took us to, and really thinking about those days, that were just so carefree and just so much fun. Cards like this are a big reason of why I got back in the hobby. Just makes you feel like a kid again. So, beautiful card. Number 8, one we all know. 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. This was a card that my brother and I actually pulled from a pack together. So we were putting together the 89 set. Of course, this was the huge card that everybody was going after. For guys my age, I'm 42. We'll be 43 in July of next year. But you're in the era here where this was Upper Deck was just a whole different beast when it came out. Big set. Card number 1 was the kid with this fantastic smile. Everybody wanted this card. It was just huge, and so happy to have it. It's in great shape. This one's also a candidate to send off. It's in my stack of cards that need to be submitted for grading if I choose to do so. But love this card. This is another one of those cards, again, that just helps me reconnect, and that I've reconnected with this year as I've kind of found my love for the hobby again, and it's just brought memories flooding back. So I don't know how many times I picked this card up and looked at it this year, but man, I've sure enjoyed it, and hope you do as well. Card number 7, maybe an odd choice, but it's the 78 Topps Eddie Murray rookie. Yeah, this is as card I remember as a kid. I never had. I loved Eddie Murray, though. He was kind of one of those guys that came on the scene that I remember as a kid, but that was around before I was even a spark in my daddy's eye. But Eddie Murray, great player. Always enjoyed this card, enjoyed the look on his face. He just looks so locked in right there, getting ready to go to bat. So when I got back in the hobby, this is a pickup that I knew I wanted to make early on. Got it in a nice PSA slab, graded to 7. Not that really mattered to me. I was just looking for a really good centered copy with good corners, good registration, and this card kind of met all that. So happy to have this one. Card number 6. One of my faves, 1960 Topps, Carl Yastrzemski rookie. Found this one at 6.5. So for some reason, when I started getting into the vintage world and getting that bug, I don't know why, but this card just stuck out to me as one that I had to have. Like, I love this card. It just, to me, screams vintage, and I'm not really sure why. But this is a great copy. I'm really happy to have it. I got this one off Nathan Burns back in the summer, and this one's the one I keep on display. Behind me, you'll see a display case on some of my videos if I'm at my desk recording. So this is one I keep in the wall display. Really love this card. Love Yaz. Of course, you've seen me show some memorabilia that I have from Yaz, and of course other cards of his that I have, including the Post and Jello issues. So really happy to have this one. Proud of that. Card number 5. This is a recent pickup that I've not shown yet, but as a Braves fan, I love it. So 1954 Eddie Matthews, and this one is in phenomenal shape. So this was a recent pickup that I've really been fawning over the last couple of weeks. Picked it up at a show in Knoxville. Came across it. It just popped off the table. It was sitting there with some other 54s with a local dealer that I know. He just got some new inventory in, and I was looking it over and saw this one. He ended up working with me and making me a really good deal, but just such a fantastic card. Eddie Matthews is a guy that, as a Braves fan, I've probably not paid enough attention to. Probably gets overshadowed by Hammer and Hank just a little bit, but definitely a guy that I'm looking to add more and more of to my collection. I did pick his 55 Topps run up earlier in the year, and I'm happy to have that one. But love this card. This is one that I definitely got to send off for grading, but so happy to have this. It's a beautiful card. This is, interestingly enough, my first and only 1954 Topps in the collection thus far. Card number 4. It's the 1962 Topps Manager's Dream, featuring Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. Again, card I always knew of, loved, because you got two superstars in one, and you got Hank in the back. So I always thought this was just such a cool card. Never gave much thought to owning it as a kid, but this was another one I had to pick up when I got back into the hobby. Found this really nice copy, and was happy to pick it up. So this was kind of my bridge. I love Mantle and Mays, and of course one of them represented in my collection, but this is kind of a bridge to their base cards, which you'll see next. Card number 3, bridging off the 62 Manager's Dream card I mentioned or just showed, is the 1959 Willie Mays. This one's special for 2 reasons. One, I love the card. I think it's beautiful. It's the, as of now, the lone Mays base card in my collection, but also because I got this off of Mike Rinke of Mike J. Harker Vintage, sent it my way, so I was able to get this from his collection and add it to mine. So this is another one I keep on display here. Usually you'll see it sitting right by these signed balls on a stand, so that I can see it every day when I come up to do some work in the office area of the bonus room here. Card number 2. Love this card. So when I think golden era, obviously when I think vintage, I mean Mantle is the cornerstone. Of course, you've got Mays and Aaron and some others that go into that, but this guy right here is kind of the one that carries it, and probably has for many years. But always wanted a nice Mickey Mantle. This one's in a 2.5. The only flaw I can really find on it is this big fisheye right here. That's it. I've not found any creases, not found anything other than maybe some soft corners, but it's well centered. It is an extremely clean 2.5. And I was just so happy the day I picked this up. This was one of the first cards I bought. Couldn't believe it when I found it at a local card shop in Knoxville, and had a great price on it as well. So went ahead and added it. It's the 64, but tickled to death with this one. Would love to have more of the Mantle base run into my collection as finances and priority allow. But this is another one that I keep on display pretty regularly and love to look at. This was pretty much one of those cards that when I first got it, just the shock of I've actually got a nice Mantle that, you know, I didn't ever think as a kid I would own any Mickey Mantle card, but to have one and be able to show it off was a great thrill for me. So I've really been enjoying this card all year. And last but not least, card number 1. A lot of you may think I've got this out of order with the Mantle, but it's the 55 Topps Ted Williams. I have really come to like the 55 Topps set. It's my favorite set, as I have well documented. I'm putting that Hall of Fame run together. I actually picked up the Harmon Killebrew rookie, the 55, early in the year. Enjoyed it. That's actually what turned me on to the 55s. Then I kind of rekindled my interest in Ted Williams by reading some books and learning more on him. And then, of course, I love this card. Probably my favorite card of Ted's in the Topps run anyway. So really tickled to get this one. Came from Garrett Wells with Ballpark Memories. And, of course, this one's kept in the wall display along with my other 55s. But beautiful card, just great color, just great condition. So I was just pumped the day this one arrived, and I just find myself taking this one out of the display case and just looking at it at least once or twice a week. So really thankful to have that one. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look at the cards that I've enjoyed the most from this year. It's funny. I found that the more I've dove into card collecting and back into the hobby, the more I'm connecting with sports and history in general. And don't get me wrong, I've always been a huge sports fan, huge baseball fan, but I'm also a history buff. And the more I've kind of dove in and learned about cards and the players represented on them and their history, the more it's forced me to learn about the history of the game, the history of what was going on in America at the time and eras that these guys were playing in. I'm working my way through the Ken Burns documentary Baseball right now, which I've not seen in years, but I'm really enjoying that, and I think that's probably going to have to be a end-of-year tradition for me going forward. But it's just drove me to learn more and dive into the past in ways that I really didn't envision when I got back into the hobby. So that in itself has been a true blessing, just having the chance to do that. And I've really enjoyed, not only watching that documentary, but reading a lot of different books on past players, glory of their times. I've read some stuff on Mantle and Ted Williams, and several others that have really helped me expand my knowledge base. So truly is a very, very vast hobby, and just something that can really be enjoyed in several different ways. So with that, let's take it to Big Bro's mailbox. Okay, let's see what we can pull out of Big Brother's mailbox tonight. Envelope number 1. This has a postmark on it from February the 16th of 2007. Let's see what we have here. Da-da-da-da. To Sky, Doug Drabeck. Oh, 88 Donners. I remember Doug. And you don't ever forget the 88 Donners once you've seen it. It's a nice card there, nice Sharpie signature. Envelope number 2. This is coming from postmark of April the 6th of 2010. We have football, it appears. We have an Upper Deck Eric Turrett from his days with the Ravens. I always associate Eric Turrett more with the Florida Gators because they were arch rival of my Tennessee Vols, but pretty sure I used to watch Eric Turrett run over my Vols as a youngster. Very nice. That blue Sharpie pops on that one. And card number 3. This is a postmark of, I believe, November the 27th of 2007. We have, looks like an old score. Oh yeah. You don't forget Aqua on a card. Charlie Huff. Very nice. Old Charlie played for a long time. There you go. So shout out to my Texas Ranger fan buddies out there. 91 score Charlie Huff. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Be sure to tune in next week for the December edition of Goats on a Budget with Joe, the Redneck Collector, as we find out if Joe could beat the comps for some of our favorite cards. So tune in. As always, God bless, Merry Christmas, and don't hesitate to reach out if I can do anything for you.